You guys remember the GTA Trilogy release a couple months ago and how much of a disaster it was? Well, as it turns out, none of it mattered because the game sold insanely well. And actually, because of that, this could mean some kind of bad news for GTA 6. We all think GTA 6 is the next Rockstar title. Well, that might not actually be the case given the sales from the GTA Trilogy. So let's go ahead and hop in and see what we're all talking about. As always, I'll leave a link to the article in the description if you want to take a look at. But this is all basically stemming from the Take-Two earnings conference call like a couple of days ago. In this conference call, they basically gave the amount of copies that the GTA franchise entirely has sold. And doing some slight math, we can figure out how many copies the GTA Trilogy sold. So, from the article, according to the latest figures, the entire GTA series has now sold over 370 million units, including 160 million units of GTA 5, which, by the way, is an absurd number. Like, it's still crazy that that's how many copies GTA 5 has sold. Like, most games nowadays come out, they barely hit 5 mil. GTA's hitting 5 mil copies sold 7-8 years later. But anyway, so the way we all figure this out is the second paragraph. The numbers are up from the last report, which was last November. The numbers back then were 355 million for the series and 155 million for GTA 5. So in those 3 months, or however long it's been, that's where the numbers up top are where we are now. So GTA 5 went from 155 to 160, but the GTA series entirely went from 355 to 370. So that's an additional 10 million, not from GTA 5. Well, where else would they be from? The GTA Trilogy. Like it says here, I guess other older games, can't be discounted, but there wasn't 10 million people buying, I don't know, GTA 4 or whatever. More than likely, the majority of these 10 million copies sold was of the GTA Trilogy, which is, again, an absurd amount of people buying that game, considering most games come out nowadays and they barely hit 5 million, basically. So despite the disaster of a launch and all the issues, 10 million copies were sold, which, by the way, a quick math here, 10 million times $60, which is what the game cost, that's $600 million Rockstar just made from that disaster of a launch. No, I do think nowadays it's a little bit better. I think the game actually works properly for the most part now. There's maybe some bugs and stuff happening still, but I think it is a lot more playable. But still, that's insane for what actually happened. And the reason this is kind of important regarding GTA 6 is what was leaked about a year ago. About a year ago, maybe a little sooner, I don't know. This was from a Kotaku article. I think this is from Jason Schreier, actually. He reported that Rockstar actually has plans to develop new ports of games like Red Dead Redemption. Basically like a remastered version of Red Dead Redemption. But that was only going to happen depending on how well the GTA Trilogy sold. Well, as we just saw, the GTA Trilogy sold insanely well. So I think what's going to happen now is we might actually get that Red Dead Redemption 1 remaster. If Rockstar and Take-Two know they can kind of sort of release anything and make a $600 million plus, I think for sure they're going to do that. Which, how this all relates to GTA 6, obviously, is maybe GTA 6 doesn't need to come out as soon as possible for Rockstar, at least in Take-Two from the business perspective. Like, obviously, they want to release that game because it's going to make them billions upon billions of dollars. But, they can take their time and actually finish the game properly. They don't need to rush it if they can release a remastered Red Dead Redemption. If they can release, I don't know, I've seen people say maybe a GTA 4 remastered. If these ports of these older games actually do sell well like this, I mean, there's no reason not to. It's basically free money, especially if they do plan on sort of skimping on the development process. I mean, we all know the GTA Trilogy was basically given to like a mobile development team of like 12. So it was kind of understanding why the game was so bad on release and on launch. And hopefully that would mean if they do plan on releasing these other remasters, they don't just like put the bare minimum work, knowing that it will sell. But I mean, then again, that's basically the gaming freaking community at the moment. So it's really interesting, I think, given the fact that the GTA Trilogy sold insanely well, Rockstar and Take-Two might be sort of reconsidering what, their plan of action is going for the next, year or two. Also, this was from the conference call. The Take-Two CEO, Strauss Zelnick, claimed that the game, the GTA Trilogy, has performed great and that it actually significantly exceeded their expectations. So if it significantly exceeded the business side of things, I mean, I think it's almost a given that we're going to see more of these remasters from Rockstar, which probably will push that GTA 6 date to just like whenever it's actually ready. I think hopefully Rockstar and Take-Two have figured out that if you release a broken game, like if they release GTA 6 and it was as broken as like GTA Trilogy, or if you want to go back to like Cyberpunk, that's not going to be good for them making money. So they can, I think with this news, it can afford them time to make sure GTA 6 doesn't have any major issues when it launches, which, again, might mean it comes out a little later than expected. It's not going to be rushed potentially. Obviously, like if we find out any more on this, I'll let you guys know if there's any leaks on either the Red Dead stuff, GTA 6 stuff. I'll let you guys know. But yeah, it is interesting how 6, 8, 10 months ago, however long it's been, that leak was like, hey, Red Dead Remaster could be happening if the GTA Trilogy sold well. Well, now that we know the GTA Trilogy sold well, it's almost like that's maybe confirmed that it's going to happen. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section, of course, as always. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more GTA content. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.